You definitely made it.
There's nothing better than taking a linear career path like acting and art and just knowing you've got a guaranteed safety at the end of it all. That golden parachute every actor is offered. And that's when we'll know we died trying to make it.
Indeed.
On a real note, I guess, I don't know. It's been kind of a crazy 3 years. Obviously, they put Avatar on Netflix in 2020, and that is kind of where a rebirth happened. And we have social media now, so people could like create fan pages and find other, Reddit just deep dive, theories and all sorts of fun things that didn't exist back in 2007. So I think probably in 2021, as people were kind of going outside again, but like people still kept watching and still kept loving the show. Because in my head I was like, oh well, everyone's stuck inside. Of course it's fun to watch Avatar when you're stuck and the world is crazy and you just want to escape and blah blah blah. But then like people kept talking about it, and I was like, oh, we're still talking about it. Okay, cool. Great, yay, Avatar, yay. So we're in 2021, I guess. Just realizing that people still loved watching it even when they could go outside again. That's how I can.
They still chose Avatar.
They still chose
Avatar.
Yeah.
Outside's gross. I want to stay inside and watch cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, like, I again, golden parachute situation, like, I don't know if we ever truly feel as if we've, like, made it. I've only ever wanted to be able to do what I love and, like, be able to support myself. So the fact that I'm not living out of my car is a win. Yeah, I was ready to do that. I was ready to be like, I will get a gym membership and I will live out of my car and we'll make it work, Yeah.
Yeah, it's same deal with me. Like, if I'm alive, I'm winning, I think.
Let's go!
I don't think I'll think, I think if I've truly made it, like, there'll be a gold statue of me somewhere. Like,
all right, you hear that, man. Let's get to work.
Like a dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah,
And that's when I'll be able to sit back on my gigantic golden throne and be like, I made it as a voice actor. Yeah!
While hordes of fans are chanting, all hail Ben. All hail Ben.
It's kind of a journey that you just keep fumbling forward a lot of the time, and you kind of fail forward into the next thing, and then that kind of makes you feel like, well, maybe I could fail forward to do another thing. And I suppose there is a time where you go, I've been doing this a while. I think I could keep failing forward into the next thing. So I think I'll just take the win. Like I've got 3 kids and a wife, and I'm still doing this from Canada.
Yeah,
and
let's go.
somehow, like, the bills get paid and the kids get fed and they grow, and it's lovely. It's a really lovely life.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly, because I'm not in that era yet, but I want that era to occur at some point, hopefully. And so I think that will probably be a more solidified of like, I'm good is like if there's like a full family, everybody's getting fed, we've got like space for everybody, they're going to school. Oh, what are you doing? And I'm excited for like that moment of like, yo, like the family thing's happening and like everyone's good. Like that's like, it must be a nice feeling. And I mean, I don't know what that feels like yet, aside from taking care of my dog, which is great, but a little different than the children probably. Yeah, that's the next. I wanna know what that feels like. That seems like a cool place to be.
Fill your bucket with love.
There you
I mean,
go.
if it's family, if it's dogs, if it's friendship, if it's work, just fill your bucket and then slosh that bucket around on people you meet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 100%. That's how we learn and how we grow, is we fail forward. Was there a role for each of you that really pushed your growth?
I screwed up on Dragon Ball. I was
Okay.
like, I was in my basement, I was doing gravelly voices, I'm like 22 years old, and I'm just like trying to please, and the hours tick by, and you're doing Kamea Wave after Tri-Beam after Build Up, and yeah, I hurt myself. And then you have to advocate for yourself, and as a young actor, that's really difficult, because you don't want to disappoint anyone. But when you have to say, I don't know what's going on, but I taste blood, and I think I need a break, they're like, we're on your team. Let's stop. Let's work on this. Let's fix this so that I could become the actor that could take better care of myself. So again, you might make mistakes and you might fail forward, but everyone wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
You just have to be okay with asking for the help that you need.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm glad that you took care of yourself that way. That's important. Oh, we're making big moves on this stage.
Well done.
Butterfingers.
How dare you?
My throat is in pain for you, hearing you say that. Oh my gosh.
Well, I also had to get my tonsils out as an adult, so I don't think the timing was great because I was in the middle of the contract and I needed like 4 weeks to heal. They gave me the Christmas 2 weeks break. So when I came back, I wasn't quite where I wanted to be, but it was also good to know what the limitations of the healing body were so that I could just do better.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess my first role back into voice acting, because I did Avatar when I was 12, 13, and then there was some college redirect. I majored in other things and traveled around, whatever. Thought I was going to be a doctor. Confusing. Anyway, we came back, and so my first voiceover job was doing the English dub for Nase and Platinum End. Quick little one-season things from the creators of Death Note. But that was my first job back after not doing it for almost a decade. So that was in 2021. I think the second half of 2021, yes. And it was just like nerve-wracking. I like forgot how life worked. I like brought my iPad with the script and then I was like, voices, yes. Just kind of, I don't know, I was like a little panicked for the first like 20 minutes of the session and like going in and finding the voice of the character, because when you start a new session, you kind of like go back and forth with the director in the booth and just be like, okay, like where do we want to place her? Like, do we do a little bit softer? Like really soft? Or did we add a little bit more of this? Like you just like play around and figure out what works. And I was just panicked. And I hadn't done that as an adult. So doing that in 2021 and kind of, what does my voice do now? And like, what are the strengths that I have? And like, what doesn't work the same? And just all of that you can't really, you don't think about when you're just sending in an audition until you're in the recording booth doing it again. And then you're like, okay, we're good. So that was probably the most growth, I guess, because it had been so long and then it got kind of back into it, so.
Neat.
Yeah, no, like I feel like as an actor, you're constantly growing and constantly learning. Like every time you do something new and whatnot. For me, like I guess like kind of the thing that like really like was like a major jump, because we do have those too. Was I voiced Nozomi in Keijo. If any of you guys are familiar with that show, yeah, I love it so much. All the girls fight each other on a floating platform with their boobs and butts, and you scream stuff like vacuum butt cannon, and it is so much fun. This was my first like really like long form series like anime lead, and it's kind of like styled as like almost like a like they're all girls but like almost like a shonen sports show, so it's like it's like funny but like it takes the sport like seriously, so you're doing a lot of like yelling and everything like that, and I loved to scream. I always have. When I was a little girl, I would throw my Barbie up and do blood curdling screams as she fell, so just over and over again in the backyard, which I'm sure the neighbors love. My biggest thing was breath control, because I was self-taught.
I know I'll never be the same. Shook my world so hard again. Wish I washed away my sins. He's a dead man walking, blank stare in his eyes. Should have given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down. Cold blood to the ground.